Today's episode is brought to you by Sincerely Shalia, my very own greeting card line, written and designed by me for real love and real life. Whether you need the perfect card to celebrate love, apologize, or say what's on your heart, Sincerely Shalia has you covered. So skip the generic and say it your way. Check out my full collection at shaliavinny.com/greeting cards and find the card that speaks for you. I can't wait till you guys check them out. And don't forget to let me know what you think. I love you guys. Hello and welcome to the Love This Way podcast, the show that exists to help men and women everywhere to be better at love. Never any gender wars or back and forth, just great tips to help you find and sustain the love of your dreams. Because love is a journey, but you still need direction. So grab your tribe and get ready, because each episode we're going to be talking about our real life issues, answering tough questions, and building solid relationships with one another as we heal, learn, and grow. I'm your host, your girl, Dr. Shalia Vinny, and today we're going to talk about a truth that you need to hear. You don't want a partner, you want a parent. Can we get into this? Hey, my babies, welcome back to another episode of Love This Way. We need to talk and we really need to have an honest communication for once. Are y'all rocking with me? Because I really want to get to the bottom of some things and I think that I can help if we all just keep an open mind, okay? Is that fair? Because I really believe that some of you aren't really searching for love. You're searching for a parent, whether you know it or not, because you say you want a partner, but the way that you show up in relationships is proving otherwise every time. Because instead of looking for someone to walk alongside you, you're really looking for someone to carry you. You want someone to pay your bills, regulate your emotions, heal your wounds, and be responsible for your happiness. But let me tell you something. Partners are not parents. And the longer you confuse the two, the longer you're going to sabotage the love that you're meant to experience. Because many people enter relationships without doing the work of healing, growing, and maturing. So instead of showing up as an equal, they unconsciously position themselves as the child and then expect the other person to be the parent. And here's what that will look like. You know, it's typically when you're expecting your partner to manage your emotions every time you spiral, you're leaning on them to rescue you financially because you won't discipline yourself. You're looking for them to constantly reassure your insecurities because you haven't built self-worth. And then you're expecting them to carry the weight of all the responsibility while you just coast on by. Now, on the surface, it can feel like love because one person shows up and the other receives. But in reality, it's an imbalance. An imbalance always creates a strain. And here's the part that most people miss. When you confuse parenting for partnership, you rob the relationship of equality. Equality is where respect grows. And we all know without respect, love doesn't feel like safety. It feels like dependency. And dependency is a trap, not a foundation. If you're looking for someone to complete you instead of complement you, you're not looking for a partner. You're looking for a parent. And no relationship is going to be able to survive when one person refuses to grow but expects the other to carry both of the loads. Now, I want to go a little bit deeper and I want to talk about the cost of turning a partner into a parent, because a lot of people don't actually realize what happens when you confuse partnership with parenting. It might feel convenient at first, but then over time, the damage is going to become undeniable. So I want you to really know what this looks like, because the first thing that happens is that resentment is going to build. The person who's forced into being the parent role is going to start to feel drained. They're going to lose respect for their partner because instead of an equal, they're carrying a dependent. And then at the same time, the one being parented often feels controlled or nagged. So both sides start to end up resenting each other. And then, of course, right after that, we know attraction will start to fade. Because let's be honest, nobody wants to sleep with their parent. When you create a parent-child dynamic, sexual attraction will start to wither. Intimacy requires equality. And when one person is constantly above the other, that's going to kill all of the desire. You just know that. Okay. Next thing that happens is that the growth is going to stall, because when you rely on your partner to carry what's actually your responsibility, you rob yourself of the growth process. You don't learn how to budget or regulate your emotions or stand on your own 2 feet because you've outsourced all of that labor. And then when growth stalls, so does the relationship. then of course there's going to be a power imbalance that's going to emerge because one person begins to dominate their relationship while the other stays stuck in dependence. And that's not love. That's imbalance. And imbalance is always going to lead to eventual collapse. A relationship built on control and dependency might survive for a while, but it won't create the deep joy and peace that you really long for. And then, of course, after you combine all of those things, the inevitable happens. Love is going to slowly start to die because real love requires mutual respect, and you cannot respect someone who refuses to grow. Dependency masquerading as devotion isn't sustainable. It erodes respect, and without respect, love can't last. What some of you are calling love is really dependency, and dependency isn't intimacy, it's immaturity. And immaturity will always sabotage connection every single time. Hey, friend. If you're tired of those generic impersonal greeting cards, I've got you covered. Sincerely Shalia is my very own greeting card line, written and designed by me to help you say what's really on your heart. Whether it's love, apologies, or just because, these cards speak for you. Skip the cookie cutter messages and send something real. Check out my collection at shaliavinny.com/greeting cards and find your perfect card today. Okay, so obviously you're probably wondering, what do we do now? Because if you want a real partnership, you're going to have to break out of the parent-child dynamic, but you probably are wondering how. So I'm going to give you 5 ways to shift from parenting to partnership. First things first, you've got to take responsibility for yourself. Handle your own healing, finances, and emotional regulation. Don't make your partner your personal safety net. Love thrives when both people carry their own weight. Number 2, you've got to communicate as equals. Instead of speaking in helplessness or constant demands, you need to approach each other with collaboration. Partnership is about we, not one person babysitting the other. Number 3, you need to contribute consistently. Relationships require effort from both sides, financially, emotionally, and spiritually. So if you're showing up empty-handed, you're not building a partnership, you're just leeching off of one. Number 4, I want you to start respecting boundaries. You're gonna have to stop draining your partner with the needs that you refuse to handle yourself. A partner isn't your caretaker, and if you treat them like one, they're gonna eventually disconnect. Number 5, you've got to grow together. It cannot be one-sided. Partnership isn't about one person dragging the other into maturity. It's about 2 people bringing their strengths, supporting each other, and building something greater together. Okay, so here's the truth. If you want a partner, you're going to have to stop looking for a parent because love isn't about one person carrying all the weight while the other stays comfortable in immaturity. Love requires accountability, effort, and growth from both sides. And hear me, please hear me. Dependency is not devotion. Neediness is not love. Control is not care. If you want someone to heal you, save you, and rescue you, that's not a relationship that you're asking for. That's adoption. A healthy relationship isn't built on rescue missions. It's built on mutual responsibility. It's 2 whole people choosing each other every day, not because they need to survive, but because they want to thrive together. So let me leave you with this. Love thrives between equals. If you still want a parent, you're not ready for a partner. And until you grow up, you're going to keep sabotaging the very love you claim you want. And that's the part that most people never admit, that their loneliness isn't from a lack of love, it's from refusing to grow into the kind of person who can handle real love. And that, my friends, is the difference between a relationship that drains you and a relationship that grows you. One is a crutch, the other is a covenant. And until you choose covenant, you're going to keep mistaking dependency for love. Now, if you need more help, you can always go to shaliavinny.com, book a one-on-one session with me, and we'll work it out together. You know I'm rooting for you. I'm going to see you on the next episode. Love you guys. Today's show is brought to you by Sincerely Shalia, my greeting card line. Please rate the show on your favorite streaming platform, share it with one person who you think needs to hear it, and then ask them to do the same. Remember, good, better, best. Don't you ever let it rest. To your good is better, and your better is best. Until next time, your friend, motivator, and relationship strategist, Dr. Shalia. Bye.